Live from the CSU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with my Instagram. I have a really bad algorithm. Because I've got this story, and apparently it's quite old. But there was a woman.
6 years.
It doesn't even matter.
To be exact.
But you read the headline, though. It was all about.
Yeah.
I was wondering if somebody has.
Clickbait, Ryan. So this woman was arrested for sending a man 159,000 texts after our first date. And it got us talking in the studio like, God, somebody probably went through something like that or even worse.
And it wasn't overnight. It was over the course of 10 months that she stalked this man out. They had just
I don't think you
one date.
be able to take the time to do that many in the day.
Yeah, she parked outside his house, did all the stalkery.
She got into his house.
Imagine one of the things that she texted him was, "I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones."
Oh my gosh!
Like psycho
I
crazy.
would never date again.
Then she was arrested for trespassing inside his house while he was out of the country.
Scary.
She pled not guilty to the charges of stalking and criminal trespassing. And we have to see, in the end, what happened to her.
No, so we asked anyone listening who, and then we asked, had a bad date, someone as bad as that, and we got a couple people here, so let's see what happens.
All right. Trish is up first at 833-390-KRV. Hi, Trish. Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Hey, good morning. So what was your terror?
Well, I was kind of on a group that was a specialist group, and I was already living and kind of an expert, so I talked to a lot of the people that were mainly guys. So I was giving them help doing what we wanted to do. And I got on there once because I moved into an old farmhouse, and I needed to know, how do I do this? Because I'm trying to work on a project at my house, and I've never done plumbing before.
Sure.
And so this guy goes, "Oh, my God, I'm not that far. Let me come." The guy lived 8 hours away. And he showed up at my house.
Oh, my God.
I'm not that far. Let me come over. 8 hours later, he showed up. Were you texting like, "Hey, where are you? It's been an hour."
We did schedule it for the next day.
Okay.
So he came in the night before, got in a hotel, stayed, and showed up at my house early in the morning, and never did the project.
Oh, no.
Started a whole bunch of other projects, and then brought flowers, and wanted to go get me breakfast, and then he wanted to go get me lunch. And he sat and he never left, and he never left, and he stayed for 3 days.
What? Wait, he was over in your house?
Oh yeah.
Why do you even let him in the house?
Well, she let him in the house because the plumbing thing.
My plumbing.
Yeah, no, but
Yes, but how did you not kick him out? I would have said, "Okay, listen, Ed, it's 9. We haven't done anything with the plumbing, and I have things to do, so you have to go." You're the craziest definition of, I feel bad to make him feel bad when he's making you so uncomfortable.
No, it got to the point, I said, "Okay, well, let's go down and get a part. Let's all go." So I could lock my door. And so we got him out of the house and then locked the door and called the police. And the police came. So the first time they came, they were really nice and said, "Dude, you can't do this. You got to go home." So he went home. He came back. And the second police officer was awesome because I was taking a nap. I'm old. I got custody of a baby that, is just really a long story. But the guy was banging on my door, and it was like, it was a cop again. And I opened the door to the cop. I said, "If you're here, I got a man just wanting to know about a welfare check." Because I wouldn't call the guy back. I wouldn't talk to him anymore. And he kept welfare checking me. And so all these cops kept showing up at my house. So this poor little man, he goes, "Okay, I'm sorry." And then when I told him my story, he goes, "Oh, can I please do this to him?" And sure enough, whatever that police officer did, he was so excited about doing it. I said, "Go ahead." And this man has never, ever called me back.
And you don't know what the cop said or did.
When you say he went to go home, did he go home to 8 hours, or did he just go to the hotel and then come back?
I don't know where he went. I think he was sleeping on a street in town because somebody had mentioned it after they found out what was going on.
The guy that came over to, do some work on the house, I saw him under 59.
That is weird.
That's insane.
Crazy. He drove 8 hours.
Yeah.
My brother was starving.
And I want to know what this cop did to put the fear of God into him.
I would really like to
Did he
know
want
what the
more?
cop said.
I felt like he just wanted a place to live, like a wife.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, he could have been a squatter situation.
Well, in
before
the
you know it.
future, if you hear that story, I know that she was in it and didn't feel like she could get out of it, but don't let strangers put that in your house. That's how you should leave. Okay, the next story, 833-390-KRBE. Have you been stalked after just one date or for some reason by some person? I don't know your name. Is it Michelle? Yes, it's Michelle. Sorry. Can you hear me? Michelle?
I can hear you.
Yep.
What's
your story, Michelle?
So this doesn't have to do with me because thankfully I have been married for a very long time. But this has to do with my grandmother, who, let me preface, is 78. So she's 78. She's on a Facebook dating app, which I'm like, Grandma, we got to get you off the Facebook.
Oh, my God.
Nice. Hold on, wait, time out. Because a lot of grandmas don't realize they've entered she, like, knows purposely she wants to find a companion and she's on the dating app.
Yeah, my
okay. Just double checking. I don't know if you're talking to me, Michelle. I don't know what they want. Okay. Tell me.
She wants some company. Okay. So
she's a very young 78. Like, everyone always thinks that she's my mom, not my grandma.
You're a young 78.
She's on Facebook dating. She is. She's snappy. So she goes on a date with this man who's a golf instructor for kids and a marshal. And then she always sends me like the info, like, hey, can you look this person up, make sure they're not like, who they say they are. Which I mean, you don't. How do you really know if someone's crazy? You don't. But I looked this person up. I was like, yeah, it seems normal. Then I was like, oh, he's actually the marshal at the golf club that me and my husband golf at. And so my husband's like, oh yeah, like I know who that is. Cool. Tell me why this woman goes on a date with him one time. And this man this is this past weekend, so super recently. This man starts sending her pictures of him with no shirt on. And he's like, oh, I want to come to your house and see you. I walk around my house naked.
Oh, God.
I wish you were here. So yes, so you can walk around with me. And then...
This is so much more disturbing because they're 78. I'm sorry to think ages, but it's so much more disturbing because they're 78. He's like, I want to walk around naked with you.
I know. She showed me the pictures, and I was like, this man needs to put his shirt on. Absolutely not.
Oh,
but the worst part,
oh, man. So,
the straw that broke the camel's back was he texted her and said, I want to kiss your lips. But he was not talking about the lips on her face.
Oh, my God.
Wow, this guy.
Oh, my God.
This guy.
I was like,
the ick of this.
But now you got to golf, and you're going to see this guy when you're golfing.
Exactly. I'm going to see him. I won't say I'm going to punch him in the face, but maybe he might get punched in the face. We'll see.
Or just hit a ball in his face.
I don't know.
He's got to walk up to him and go,
somebody needs to get... Is he still doing it, or has he stopped?
No. I took her phone and blocked him. I was like,
Good.
Yeah, you gotta,
absolutely not.
I call us back when you go golfing. Are you going to go golf next week or next time you golf?
I need to go take a picture with him and then tell him, hey, you were talking to my grandma.
Yeah, that's gross.
Weirdo.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird.
I know.
How old is this guy, by the way? Like, what does he look like? His 70s?
He's in his 70s. Yeah, he's in his 70s. So...
We lost her phone.
It started warbling because your Bluetooth.
So he's an old guy and he's taking pictures of himself shirtless and
I mean, it's kind of encouraging.
Y'all say perverse to the end.
I hope so.
Yeah. Perverse to the end.
Oh, God, that's disturbing.
That poor grandma. My goodness. Hey, listen, that's not something we've ever really talked about. Like, what grandmas... Because usually when the person you've married to for 40-something years, 50-something years passes away, you just assume that grandma is probably like, well, I'm fine. I'm by myself. But this grandma was like, yeah, I'm putting myself out there on Facebook dating at 78.
Yeah, we always talk about the retirement places. They're very active, so it's not just guys and guys.
No, they have the highest. They actually have the highest amount of, whatever.
The difference is, hold on, we are not talking about a grandma who is living in a retirement facility or a skilled nursing.
Older people, though.
That's right, but I feel like it's even more of a step forward for this grandma who's still all with it and living on her own to be like, I'm going to get back out there and date at 78. Because, when you're in your environment, in the skilled nursing home, you're like, well, these are all my people.
Yeah, you got them all around.
I think he's cute.
We're all lazy, right? People date within their circle.
Right. Why shouldn't you? Yeah. If you still are able to do all that stuff, enjoy life.
Or you just want a companion, I guess.
Yeah, nobody wants to be
I
alone.
mean, Diane was a hoe.
Yeah.
Talking my man Ed.
How did that happen? Where are they getting fights like that? So they ask people that work
That's what I'm telling you. You've got to watch this.
Staffers of those vendors could tell us the story.
Oh, yeah. You know they talk bad about each other, ladies.
You've got to watch this show with Ted Danson. It's called Man on the Inside. It's on Netflix, and he has to infiltrate a retirement home.
Someone stealing or something?
Yeah, and it's so funny. I mean, it's just like what we're talking about.
Residents there, the way they do like high school.
Yeah, he's like undercover.
Okay, undercover high school kid, but undercover geriatric.
Yeah,
The nursing
it's
home.
right. It's called Man on the Inside. It's a cute, sweet show too. You could watch it with anybody.
Wow, you really have watched everything.
I think so.
I don't have time on your hands. Listen, coming up next, we're doing Roula's Relationship Roulette, and it is summertime, which means a lot of people plan to get away, even for a couple of days, maybe for a week or more, whatever it is. If you are newly dating somebody, we really want to try and see if we can nail down an answer to this question. How long must you be dating, or should you be dating, before you plan a getaway together? Because really, this is tricky. It's a variable. It could ruin y'all.
Yep.
Or it could strengthen you.
It's going to be a month. It's going to be, because I know if my kid was dating someone for 3 weeks, and she was all dead, but we're going away to Cancun for a week.
No, you're not.
No.
I mean, if she's 20 years old and she's an adult, yes, I understand.
Nope, I don't care.
Like hell to the no.
You're 38.
You're going to get kidnapped.
He's 78. And
So what is the timeline, like in y'all's opinion, what is your appropriate timeline if you're newly dating somebody to go on a trip with that person? 833-390-KRBE. We'll talk to you next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Sing it, everybody.
Bum, 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 bum. Spin the wheel, find out what's the deal. It's Roula's Relationship Roulette on KRBE. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, yeah. One more time.
Those AI robots sure know how to mariachi.
I haven't heard in a while.
So this is really AI.
This is AI.
Not real people.
Give it to us, guys. Here we go.
Spin the wheel, find out what's the deal. It's Roula's Relationship Roulette on KRBE.
Yeah, KRBE. All right, here's our number, 833-390-KRBE. That's 5723. Maybe you're out vacationing now, and that's why you can't tell us about it.
Yeah, how was the airport crazy?
I went to the airport for those just tuning in. I showed up late to the show because I take my kids to the airport. It was fine, actually. I mean, we had to be there at 6, though.
I just always, this time of year, I call the dog days of summer for like
everything.
Everything.
Yeah, don't you feel like it's emptiness around here?
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like the city has thinned out. I feel like it's thinner. Like even when I go to the grocery store, I feel like the parking lot is emptier.
The only
People
part
are just
that
in and
isn't is the Galleria area, 59, 610, to I-10.
That's always bad,
No matter what, even when it's less people, it's still crap. The only time is maybe Sunday morning. Like
Maybe.
8:30.
Maybe.
I drive by there once in a while.
We're asking the question, how much time dating, when you're newly dating somebody, is a good amount of time to decide, all right, let's go on a trip together. Because the trip can be the deal maker or the deal breaker. If you guys aren't good travelers together, or one person's really like intense and the other person's really relaxed, that's not for a good travel team.
But the good point is you have the time to just focus on the two of you. You're away from reality. You can get to know each other better.
But sometimes it's like The Bachelor. Those people are in that world.
Romantic worlds of like extreme amazingness. We're in Italy. We're on top of this mountain.
Of course you're going to fall in love.
In Norway. We've gone,
Whenever I go to Napa, and I try the wine at these places, I'm like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah, you're like,
I must join your
drinking the
wine club.
It tastes so good because of the surroundings.
Yeah, it's like anything, like those pina coladas and those drinks.
Frozen drinks on vacation, let's just be real, taste way better than you make in your house.
Yeah.
Of course. I can make a pina colada today, and it will not taste the same unless if I'm going to be at the beach and there's no plan. 833-390-KRBE. We're going to, is it Betty or Becky? Becky. Hi, Becky. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Can you help us with this answer?
Well, this might be something different. I'm on match. I'm a little older, but I get guys that I haven't even met out for a drink or dinner, and they're saying, hey, do you like California? I'm like, yeah, I've been there. Well, hey, I can fly you out. We can go do this and that. And I'm like, who does that? I'm not even like you, and then I'm stuck in another state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I've never understood.
That kind of sounds like a scammer, right? Like a Tinder swindler.
But if you're older, they have money, right?
It's 9 times out of 10. I'm 61. And 9 times out of 10, if they say a state or something, oh, I'll fly you out here, we can do all this and that, and I'm like, ew, yuck. Like, how do I know I'm going to even like you? Like, most of the time I go out, I don't like who I'm going out to dinner with, and, I don't talk to them again.
Why don't they invite themselves to fly here? They should be doing
what
that.
I said. I said, if a man that has so much money and flies all over the world, and they live in California, I said, I consider men lazy if they can't get on a plane and come see me and meet me for dinner. Yep. Why should I get up, pack, all the crap,
but
and
he's
travel
selfish
to
because he figures that, hey, if this is a bomb, no problem. You just go stay at a hotel. I'm back to my regular life. He's being self-centered.
Right. That's why I think they're lazy. I said that's very lazy, and usually I don't hear from them again when I tell them that. So.
Oh, wow. You straight up tell them lazy. Good for you
I
for
like
weeding out those scammers.
Are you finding anybody? Are you finding any guys that you like lately? Or
I kind of go for the younger guys. So.
And what's your younger window, Becky? If you're 61, how young will you go?
Late 40s.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
We were not, and I'm not going after them. They're coming after me.
Have you ever been with like a 28-year-old? Like 20 years difference?
Yeah.
That's
a long time ago.
So they say like a 21,
well,
a 40, 50.
Not now, but
like you should be
women peak at a different age.
Most of the guys say, have you ever been with a younger guy? I'm like, it's just a number, but I'm like, what does it matter? Like, why are you asking? I said, I think that's rude to ask me if I've ever been with a younger guy.
Maybe the more stamina, they're thinking,
Well, because you guys said, like, have you ever been with a 28-year-old? Like,
because we always hear, like, when you're 60, have you been with younger men?
But what's younger, 40? It's got to be 40, right?
She said late 40s.
But don't they say people that are 40?
He's talking about 29-year-olds. That's way younger for a 61-year-old person.
If you're in your 40s, you probably date 25.
I mean...
Isn't that when are the women in their sexual peak?
Like around 46, 47, right in there.
How much she likes her at the time. Becky, let me ask you one more question before we let you go, because earlier, not the segment before this, we had a woman call in about her grandma is dating at 78 years old on Facebook. And, we don't often hear that. Did you see when you are scanning whatever socials you're using, like elderly women? Okay.
Are they perverts?
Please. I mean, like, what do you do next week? Well, I will call you when I have some time, free time. Well, what about Tuesday? I'm like, I don't know yet. I'll let you know. Well, what about Thursday? You want to go to Astros game? I mean,
they sound like a kid.
Well, I think are you also referring to the person that won't leave you alone? Is that what you're saying? Because they keep asking you and asking when to see you? Okay.
Yeah, that means they're into you, though. That means they like you. They like what they see.
I just think they have nothing better to do or something. I don't know. I don't like that. Like, I will let you know when I'm available or I want to be around you. When I want to enjoy your company.
So when are you going to have your fill of this, Becky?
I don't know. I'm loving it. I'm single because I don't settle. So
good.
I just enjoy it. I like it. I like going out with different people and going ziplining or go to a movie or go to dinner. And I don't know. I like being by myself.
How about the stories?
When I want to go.
When you go on dates, do you get sick of like saying the same stories? Like, your origin story. You got to tell them how things started in your life.
For her to have to repeat her life story.
For me, I talk about my parents dying and how they die. It's like, I don't want to do that.
Everyone, there's a big variety, but I enjoy hearing people's stories, they're in. I mean, I enjoy people. I love people going out and, so. No, I'm not lonely at all. I mean, I guess they think I'm an old lonely lady, but I'm not.
Well,
I go out because I want to.
I'd like to repeat what you said. You're single because you won't settle. I have said for years. When somebody tells you to settle down, do not take the word settle literally.
No.
Because a lot of people will just settle for someone who's giving them attention or, I'm really lonely and this person wants me.
No, you only get one shot at this life. You should live it to the fullest. Don't ever settle.
Do women start freaking out, like when they get close to their 40s? Like if they want kids, they start thinking, all right, I'm 32 right now, 33. By the time I find someone, we have to date for 6 months to a year, at least, get engaged and get married. It'll be like 3 years till I have a kid. The women think that way?
Well, I feel like if you really want to have a baby,
by 40s,
some people don't know.
Harder.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, we've got technology now, but some people don't want to be having a baby at 48 years old. They want to have a baby at 34 years old, right? And I think that whatever your life plan is, technology and society has become more accepting of you picking your own route on how to become a mom. You know what I mean? Like in 1992, if a 34-year-old woman told her family, I'm going to do, IVF, and I don't know who the donor's going to be, but I want a baby. I mean, the uproar. That's a bombshell for Thanksgiving. But if you hear it now, like, oh, okay, well, okay. I mean, like maybe Kayleen did it. A lot of different celebrities have done it because they're like, listen, I don't want to, I have money. I know what I'm doing. I have my career. I can sustain in my life. I would like to have a child. I don't know who, did Kayleen actually have the baby or did she adopt? I can't remember.
There's rumors that,
with a surrogate?
What's his name? From The Office.
BJ Novak.
Oh, yeah, because they're best friends.
Yeah, like he gave the stuff.
Because I know Kristen, oh my God, my brain freeze on her. It's Charlotte from Sex and the City, and she was in Melrose Place, and Kristen Davis. She adopted, and she's talked about many times about the adoption process and how people still shame you for, trying to, I don't know, just there's so much. Nobody can be happy. Can we just be happy for
mind your own business, and if somebody's happy, celebrate that. Let them enjoy themselves. You don't have to be so judgy.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, though, Eric, yeah, I would think if I knew in my heart since I was 10 years old I will be a mother one day, and at 34 I still haven't found the right person, I'd be like, okay.
It's just scary because you're like, I'm just finding all these jerks.
Totally. And then you're like, okay, well, do I really want... And listen, having a baby by yourself is really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough. You don't have a family or a village around you to help you out. That's a really tough decision. So a lot of people are texting us that it really depends on how you feel about that person before you go on vacation with them. And I'm sure if we tried to ask the same question in September, we're going to get a slew of stories of who's vacationing right now finding out the answer.
And they're not together anymore.
Right. Because you can't have the person that freaks out with the person that doesn't freak out.
I'd say like 8, 10, I'd say 2 months.
At 2 months?
2 months, at 8 weeks of dating?
Yeah.
Of 8 weeks of like every day seeing each other? Or we've been on 4 dates.
3 times a week you see each other.
Okay. So 6 days, you're ready.
No, I mean, not for the 8 weeks. But I mean, like after 2 months, 8 weeks, then you say, let's plan something together.
24 dates.
Like now I'd be like, okay, we say we dated now, we started dating in June, come August, but we should go in the fall, we should go somewhere together.
It also depends where you're going.
Labor Day weekend.
Going to like a tropical place, but if you're taking somebody out of town to go meet the extended family,
well, that's a whole different.
But we're talking about we're not doing that. We're just talking about it's our first time out together. And I actually feel like that, like I said, September, October, we asked this question. We're going to find out who's not making it right.
Right now. Remember this. We'll find out who went on vacation over the summer.
Exactly.
Like right now, someone's ghosting somebody right now.
And also, can I just make
one person doesn't even know that's happening.
Wait, warning. If right now you already got back from the vacation and you're like thinking, I don't know if this is going to work out, you are on the clock to cut this off. Because then cuffing season starts for the holidays.
Yeah,
you get into fall, you're in it till Valentine's Day. So you better just make Peter get off the pot. Okay. Coming up next, there's a benefit concert that George Strait is putting together for the victims of the Central Texas floodings. We'll tell you more about it in Bernie, Texas next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Celebrity Scoop on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Arandas and friends. I know that we've all been suffering with friends, family, neighbors, for our fellow Texans with the Central Texas flooding. And it's been over a week now, and there are still so many people missing. And, funerals have started happening for a lot of the victims, have already happened. There are more to come.
They're getting more rain this weekend there.
Yeah. It's been very heavy. It's been very heavy because when it rains, it just reminds you how terrible it's been. It's not like, sometimes we unfortunately tend to put it out of our minds as time passes, as you're just going along with it. But when it's raining and it's doomy gloomy and you're like, oh my God, we're such a heavy place in our hearts. Well, George Strait announced a benefit for the Hill Country flood victims. It's going to happen on Sunday, July 27th. It is for the first responders and the flood victims. It is in Boerne, Texas. Boerne, Texas is spelled Boerne. It is a really small town. The only reason I've been there is I was driving to Bandera, Texas, and we stopped there to eat. Boerne, Texas.
Where's Bandera, Texas?
It's like not too far outside of San Antonio. Eric and I had to drive there.
Was it 40 minutes?
Let's say an hour outside of San Antonio.
I went to camp up there.
Oh, okay.
I guess I did drive through there once.
Yeah, we drove there.
I should know the name. I never even knew. I just drove through.
Boerne, Texas. Because I didn't know how to say it because we stopped at the one little spot. There were two little spots, actually. Actually, I should go for Trying Tuesday. I still have it in the pantry. There's a place called Fickle Pickles there in Boerne, Texas. And she became like national, like Martha Stewart covered her, Oprah covered her on favorite things. Fickle Pickles. They're like tangy and sweet pickled cucumbers, right?
Yeah, but you're not really selling it for me right now. Old pickles, like right now I'm having stomach problems. I had like
pickles and pickles.
Ranch dressing last night that made me throw up. I don't really necessarily want to eat like year old pickles.
I didn't say they were a year old. Where'd you get that from?
You said you went there last year and got them.
Oh, I mean, they're still vacuum sealed. I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
This is going to sell by Dave. I don't know how pickles work.
I don't want your pickles. I mean, it's sweet of you, but I don't know.
Right?
I want to eat like year old pickles.
Will it be hard or will it be mushy?
Well, look. They weren't crunchy in the beginning. Like, even the samples in the Fickle Pickle place in Boerne, Texas, they're not crunchy.
See, when we picked our kids up, I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I want to get home.
No,
Roula likes to stay around and shop.
Shopping.
I got 3.5, 4 hours to go. I want to get home.
No, I did want to get home, Eric, but everyone was hungry. What's it going to do? No, you want to do it.
That's when you go to Whataburger, drive through.
Where was one? Between Bandera and Boerne, where was Whataburger?
Well, I got one on my way to San Antonio to get home.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that. So, anyway, that's where this concert is happening. It's George Strait and the members of his Ace in the Hole band with special guests of all kinds. And you can get your tickets if you go to George. Just go to George Strait's Instagram. George Strait's Instagram, Strait. That's how you spell it.
All the $1,000 ones are full.
Because the $1,000 level seats have sold out, yes. There are 2,500 plus tiers that are remaining. And, of course, remember, the number is high because all the money is going to the victims of the Central Texas flooding, of the flood. So, more and more stories come out from this. And you never know how you're connected from one person to another. And I directly do not have a friend who passed away in the flood. I directly have friends and family who have friends who passed away in the flood. So it's been a very heavy time to, be waiting for the news. And then at this point now, I feel like of the 5 people that I know that knew somebody in the Central Texas flooding, only one of them is still waiting for the story of where are they. They have not been found. So 4 of my family friend circles have found their loved ones who are deceased. One family friend circle still doesn't have an answer.
Oh, my gosh.
Which I just feel like this is so crazy because when you are seeing these pictures, and CNN is still covering it, I give them credit, they're still covering it.
That's good.
There was like a Chevy Silverado trapped in the muck, and you can only tell it was a Silverado because the side door with the logo was on its side. And I'm like, that whole thing is under there?
Can we take a second to thank everybody? Because Roula and I went to Crime Stoppers on Friday.
The headquarters.
The headquarters. There's so many volunteers that listened to the show. They wanted to just be part to help, and they were sending everything out in the afternoon. If you go to Carib Ease social, you can see the photos of us there, videos. But wow, you guys listening stepped up. I know the first day, Tuesday, remember, it wasn't many people. I mean, Typhoon in Texas had a lot, but Crime Stoppers at first because we just started. That morning we decided to do this.
Yeah.
They were working in the afternoon Monday. Kevin Quinn, I give him his flowers. He took the bull by the horns and said, I'm going to.
And Houston, you did this.
Everybody.
Showed up with the stuff. You showed up with so much supply. I think when we were there on Friday, just the Crime Stoppers headquarters had almost 2 trucks full.
Yeah.
So that doesn't even count what we did at Typhoon, Texas.
Yeah.
So Houston, you really showed up. You stepped up. Thank you so much for being a hero for our fellow Texans that are suffering. And just by request, let me read this again because I don't know how many people heard me read this last time. Somebody said, "Where is that passage you read about angels?" And when I first got back from my vacation, and it was such a heavy-hearted return to the States and what's happening here in our community, all these, especially the children, right? Nobody can get the kids, the campers out of their heads, or any child that was there vacationing in an Airbnb that's missing or has passed. And it was a scary thing to be woken up in the middle of the night in a flood, washed away, and you feel like your loved one was probably in a terrified position, and nobody wants to know that our loved ones suffer at the end. And so I found this passage that a friend of mine posted that really brought me some comfort, because I would like to think this is true so that our loved ones did not feel fear and terror and pain, even though it was a terrible time. And it's called Angels. It's a passage written by Donna Ashworth. And I'm going to read it real quick to you. I like to think angels pull souls from bodies before pain and tragedy strike, wrapping them in loving arms, pressing eyes and ears against soft feathery wing, so they see no evil, they hear no evil, and they know no earthly suffering. Only love, only safety, only peace. I think everyone, no matter how they leave us, is protected as they go. And while I cannot give you proof, just like I cannot show you the invisible power that is hope or love, I feel this to be true. Just like I actually know that people live on, that love lives on, long after the angels lift us up and take us home. Oh, that was very comforting.
That's good.
And I just hope to God that was the way for all of those people who were rushed away and washed away with the river. So, Donna Ashworth, thank you for writing that, and thanks for requesting for me to read that texters. It's called Angels, Donna Ashworth.
It's time for What's Going Down in H-Town on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRGE.
It is brought to you by Cactus Fiber. Latin Restaurant Weeks has returned to Houston, going on now through the 25th, celebrating Latin heritage through food and culture with over 25 local eateries participating. Now, in Houston, 44% of the residents identify as Hispanic or Latino. Latin Restaurant Weeks acts as a platform for visibility and economic empowerment. Now, this year's event comes at a critical time with rising costs and inflation. Nearly 50% of consumers plan to cut back on restaurant spending. This is a great way to show support and get some great deals. The restaurants span from food trucks and bakeries to fine dining staples. You can get the full list on khou.com.
Now, last week when Roula came here, she talked about how her and Tassos saw that horrific accident of the ATVs.
In the mountains in the island of iOS. You can rent four-wheelers to get around the mountain. And we saw two girls with the ATV on top of them. They crashed in the mountain.
Sent the story, but I think it might be is this the same girl or is this different?
Crazy.
Is this her?
Somebody reached out to me and said, Roula, there's a story about a girl who was under an ATV and she's in critical care. She's from Australia. So I looked it up.
Is that her or no?
That is not what she looked like.
It
was the same island and the same kind of crash. It was a different
Wow.
That just tells you there's more.
How dangerous that is.
And my message back last week when I shared that story was, do you know the emergency number in the country you are traveling to? This is not something anybody tells you you have to know. This is not something that you are greeted with upon entering a new country. But I had to call the emergency services in the middle of a mountain on a rock in Greece.
So it wasn't 911. What was it?
It was the 100 for the cops, it was 116 for the EMTs, and it was 112 for the fire. But I just called the 100. And how did I know it was even 100? Because I shared last week, there is a Greek song that came out 15 years ago, and the first line of it was, I am in a 100 emergency situation, because the guy's like so heartsick over this woman.
Oh.
And I never knew what that was as I was singing that song, because it's a really good Greek song. And a couple of years later, I was singing it with my cousin, and I go, I don't understand what that means. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what does that mean that you're in a 100 emergency situation? Because that's the 100. That's what you call when you need.
That made you remember.
So that's how I remembered it. The
like
100.
What's the song we used to have? Shorty call
911. That's Sean Kingston.
Yeah.
So please.
If you're from another country, you come here. Oh, yeah.
911. If you are traveling, by the way, out of the country, or somebody you love is, go to travel.state.gov, and it'll give you every single country's emergency numbers. Please make sure they have them with them in case they need it for themselves or somebody
Or
else.
just tell your kids, don't be getting on those things. Mopeds, ATVs, don't do that at all.
It's like we got hurt on those, it's like 20 years ago. Broke some ribs, the whole thing. They're just dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, especially when you're on vacation, I would avoid them.
Like burn marks too, you get burned on the muffler.
Make sure you actually strap in the helmet. You're not just getting in your head like some kind of hat.
Don't half-ass it.
Okay. Did you miss what happened on the update today for Roses? Well, it was two women fighting over one loser. And we wanted to find out what happened after the phone call. You'll hear it next on the Roula and Ryan Show, Derek.